Welcome. Today we're diving into a really specific part of the Bible, Psalm 102.
hmm And it's quite something. It really pulls you through this arc, from deep, deep personal pain right through to this bigger view of God's timelessness and future hope.
It starts incredibly raw, doesn't it? The honesty in those opening verses is, well, it's stark.
It really is. No holding back on the suffering. The psalmist is basically shouting out, feeling completely overlooked, just begging God to, pay attention.
And the words used, they're so physical, almost gut-wrenching.
Totally. You get these images like days just vanishing like smoke.
Yeah, or bones burning like embers.
Exactly. And the heart withered like grass. There's a sense of physical wasting away skin and bones because of the constant groaning.
And that feeling of being totally alone comes through so strongly.
Oh, definitely. Feeling like a desert owl,
Huh.
or like a single bird alone on a roof. It's a picture of just utter isolation, inside and out.
It's not just internal feelings, though, is it? There's like outside pressure, too.
Yeah, that's right. Enemies are mocking him, taunting him. His name is even used as a curse.
Wow.
And his suffering is so pervasive, it affects everything. Eating ashes instead of bread, mixing tears with his drink. It's
Yeah. And he links this back to God, feeling like God's anger is just overwhelming him.
feeling taken up and thrown aside.
Yeah.
Like his whole life is just temporary, an evening shadow about to disappear.
It paints such a bleak picture. You almost wonder how you get out of that. But it doesn't end there.
No, it doesn't. And the shift is really sudden. Bam. But you, O Lord.
Right.
And everything pivots. Away from the person suffering, who feels so temporary, towards God, who is eternal. The psalm declares the Lord is enthroned forever. His reputation, his renown, lasts through all generations.
That's a deliberate contrast.
Absolutely. It's meant to completely reframe things.
So the focus pulls way back from this one person's crisis to a bigger hope. Something about Zion.
Exactly that. It moves to this promise that God will arise and show compassion on Zion, that he will rebuild it. It even says the time for this has come.
And this rebuilding, it's not just, structure.
No, it's deeper. God's people, his servants, they cherish even the stones and the dust of Zion. It matters to them deeply.
Okay.
And the vision gets even bigger when this restoration happens. Nations and their kings will actually come and revere the Lord's glory.
What's interesting is how this huge eternal God is still shown as, well, as listening, responding to that initial cry of pain.
Yes, that's crucial. The psalm says point blank, the Lord will respond to the prayer of the destitute. He will not despise their plea.
That's powerful.
And it connects the dots. This whole story, the pain, the divine response of hope, it's meant to be written down for a future generation,
Why?
so that people not yet created may praise the Lord.
Yeah.
It links the personal agony directly to God's big historical plan that goes way beyond just one person's life.
Which brings us to that amazing contrast between God's eternal nature and, well, everything else, even the universe.
Right. Think about it. You have these lines about God creating the earth, the heavens being his work, and then immediately after.
That they'll perish.
They will perish, but you remain. They'll wear out like old clothes, get changed, discarded. But God, you remain the same and your years will never end.
It really puts human suffering, even the cosmos itself, into perspective against God's unchanging reality.
Definitely. It reframes everything.
And then beautifully it circles back. It brings that hope down to earth, to the future, to descendants.
It does. The promise lands back with that future generation. The children of your servants will live in your presence. Their descendants, their future will be established before you.
So it's not just abstract, it's tangible hope for people.
Exactly. Rooted in this unchanging God.
So when you pull it all together, how does this psalm manage it? Holding that intense, visceral pain alongside this massive, eternal perspective on God and his promises.
Well, I think the how is key. It seems the psalm shows us a way. You don't ignore the terrible pain, but you deliberately, intentionally anchor it. Anchor it where? To something outside yourself that is stable, that is eternal. God's own character and his promises throughout history. It reframes our sort of temporary struggles within God's much bigger ongoing story.
Okay, so maybe a final thought for you listening. Think about that tension the psalm holds. The really raw, undeniable pain and how short life feels. Set right against this unchanging, eternal God who remembers, who acts across generations. How does holding those two realities together maybe challenge or, inform how you view difficulties and hope in your own life?